Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a business that's honestly uh, exploding right now.
Exploding,
It
yeah.
is. Homing jams, chutneys, spreads, the whole deal. Farmers markets, online, all of it.
Mhm.
And it's not just a cute little side hustle anymore.
No, not all.
People are like building real businesses around this, which is pretty cool.
It really is. And it's smart too. I mean, you're tapping into something people really want these days, that homemade, authentic feel,
Yeah.
not the mass-produced stuff.
Yeah, totally. Like you can taste the difference, right? When something's made with care, small batch.
Absolutely. And people are willing to pay for that too. They know they're getting quality ingredients, unique flavors, stuff they can't just find at the supermarket.
Right, right. Okay, so people want this stuff. But like how profitable is it, really? Can you actually make a decent living selling jam?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, let's break it down for a sec. Imagine you make a batch of strawberry jam,
Okay.
2 kilos of organic strawberries. That's what, about 10 euros?
Sounds about right.
And that gives you, say, 10 jars of jam. Sell each jar for 5 euros.
What?
That's 50 euros in revenue. Subtract your initial cost, you're looking at a 40 euro profit.
Wait, so that's like an 80% profit margin? That's insane.
Yeah, pretty good, huh? And that's just basic strawberry jam. Think about more exotic fruits, spice blends, all those creative flavor combos you could come up with.
Oh man, my mind is already going crazy with ideas.
Yeah.
But okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, logistics.
Mm.
What do you actually need to get started? Am I going to need like a copper pot, bubbling cauldron situation going on in my kitchen?
Haha, no, not quite so dramatic. You probably already have most of what you need. The basics are stainless steel pots. Those are important. They don't react with the ingredients, won't mess with your flavors. Then glass jars for storage. And some basic canning equipment to seal everything up nice and safe.
Okay, that's not too bad. So I don't need to go buy a bunch of crazy gadgets right away. Yeah. What about the legal side of things, like permits, licenses, all those food safety?
Yeah, that's what I love about this. You can play around with everything. Different fruits, veggies, spices, sweeteners. Create some really unique flavor combos. But have you thought about sourcing those ingredients? Especially if you're going for organic or locally grown produce.
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that part yet. Is it tough to find reliable suppliers for good quality ingredients, especially if you want to scale up?
It depends. It depends on where you are and what exactly you're looking for. Farmers markets are a great place to start. You can actually build relationships with the local farmers directly, see what's in season. You could also look into wholesale suppliers, but that can sometimes affect your profit margins.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you got to find that sweet spot, quality and affordability.
Right, right. Got to make sure it all works out in the end. Okay, so let's say I've got my kitchen set up, ingredients sorted, permits all in order. Am I ready to like just hit the market now, set up shop and hope for the best?
Not so fast. Choosing of the right market is just as important as having a killer product.
Oh,
Yeah, there are farmers markets, craft fairs, food festivals. They all have a different vibe, different crowd.
yeah, I guess selling fancy mango chutney at a flea market might not be the best strategy.
Exactly. So, how do you find the right market for your brand? Research, research, research.
Ah, the dreaded R word.
I know, but trust me, it's worth it. Visit different markets in your area, see what's out there, check out the foot traffic, the other vendors, the whole atmosphere. Are people there looking for a quick, cheap snack? Or are they willing to spend a little more for something special, something artisan?
Right, so it's about like matching your product to the market's vibe and the customers what they're expecting.
Exactly. What else should we consider when choosing a market?
I don't know. What else you ask there?
Well, your brand identity, that plays a big role too. If you're going for that, like, rustic, homemade feel, a farmer's market might be perfect. But if you're more, modern and trendy, a food festival or even a design market might be a better fit.
Ooh, I never thought about it like that. But yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, so let's say I found the perfect market. Do I just roll up with my jars and a table? Is that it?
You're going to need a little more than that.
Oh, no.
Most markets have applications, and some can be pretty competitive, actually.
Oh,
You'll probably need to submit samples of your product, show off your brand a little. And then just as important as getting into a market is making sure your stall actually stands out.
ooh, this is where my inner creative gets to shine. Handwritten labels, rustic wooden crates, maybe some fresh flowers even. Make it a whole visual feast.
I love it. You get it. It's all about the experience, drawing people in. You're not just selling jam, you're selling a story, a feeling, a connection to something, well, special.
Wow, that's deep. This is like a masterclass in market strategy. I love it. But, okay, before I get too carried away with my Jam Empire dreams, I need to know, like, how to actually price these delicious creations for maximum profit, of course.
Yes, the art of pricing. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, so pricing. Lay it on me. What's the secret formula?
If only there was a magic formula, right? But we can definitely talk strategy. Remember those profit margins we talked about earlier?
Yeah, 80%.
Exactly. So that's your starting point. Then you also got to think about who you're selling to, your target market, what are other people charging, and the perceived value of your product.
Perceived value. Okay, that sounds a little fuzzy. How do I, like, figure that out?
It's all about highlighting what makes your stuff special. So instead of just, listing ingredients on the label, tell a story. Are your strawberries locally grown? Is your sugar organic? Use words like hand-picked, small batch, artisan. Give it that extra something.
Oh, I see, I see. So it's about, like, creating an image,
Yeah.
a narrative
Exactly.
that people connect with. Okay, but using those high-quality ingredients, that's going to drive up my cost, right?
True. It's a balancing act for sure. You want the best you can afford, but you also need to price things, competitively.
Right.
Do some research, see what similar products you're going for. At other markets, shops, that'll give you a good benchmark.
Okay, so I have my baseline,
Yeah.
but I also want to stand out, right?
Mhm.
Not just blend in.
Of course. That's where your unique flavor combinations come in. Your branding, if you're using like exotic fruits, special spice blends, stuff you can't find anywhere else,
Okay.
you can definitely charge a bit more.
Makes sense, makes sense. I got to say, I'm still kind of nervous about, like, setting those first prices. Any tips for getting over that fear?
Honestly, don't be afraid to experiment a little. You can always adjust as you go. See what works. If something's flying off the shelves, that's a good sign. You could maybe raise the price a bit.
And if something's not selling, maybe offer a discount. Or even rethink the recipe altogether.
Exactly. Pricing is a process, not a one-time thing.
Got it, got it. Be flexible.
Yeah, stay responsive to your market.
Okay, so beyond pricing, there's another big thing we need to talk about. Branding.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Our source material mentions
Yeah.
branding beyond the jar. What does it even mean?
Think of your brand as like the personality of your business, what sets you apart, your story, your look, even your tone of voice.
Yeah.
Everything.
So it's about creating a feeling, a vibe
Yeah.
that people associate with my products. How do I do that?
Start with your audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are they into? What's the story you want to tell them?
Well, if I'm selling at farmers markets, I'm guessing it's people who care about, local, sustainable, handmade stuff. They want that authentic experience.
Exactly. So your branding should reflect that. Your packaging. Could you use like eco-friendly materials, maybe source recycled glass jars, emphasize that your ingredients are local, everything's made in small batches, with love.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond just the product and creating a whole, like, ethos around the brand. What about the visual stuff?
Yeah.
Logos, labels, colors. How do I choose all that?
Think about the emotions you want to evoke. Should it feel rustic, traditional, or modern, vibrant? Your logo, the colors, even the font you use on your labels, it all works together.
It's like creating a visual language. That tells my story without me even having to say anything.
Oh.
What about the name? Should it be, like, catchy and fun or more classic and descriptive?
There's no right answer, really. Play around with different ideas, see what feels right, authentic to you and your brand.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get creative.
This is making me realize how much thought goes into branding. It's a lot more than just, like, slapping a label on a jar and calling it a day. It's about, like, creating a whole world. Speaking of reaching a wider audience, though, we can't forget about the online world.
Right. Absolutely not. You got to have an online presence these days, especially for something so visually appealing as what you're making.
I'm already picturing, like, those colorful jars of jam popping up on everyone's Instagram feeds. What are some good strategies for promoting jams and chutneys online?
Visuals. Instagram is perfect for that. High quality photos, show off those vibrant colors, the textures, that rustic homemade feel,
Ooh, I could even share behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Like the chopping, the simmering, the canning process. People love that, right?
Totally. And don't forget about video. TikTok is great for those quick, fun recipe ideas. Show people how to make something delicious with your jams and chutneys.
Yeah, like a simple crostini Or a summery drink? Oh, I'm getting so many ideas.
See, it's about inspiring people,
Yeah,
getting them excited to use your products in their own kitchens.
love it. Okay, what about a website? Is that, like, still a thing with all the social media stuff happening?
A website is still super valuable. It's your home base online, where you can tell your full story, show off all your products, maybe even sell directly to people.
Right, so it's like a central hub
Yeah.
where people can go deeper than just a quick social media post.
Yeah.
What about those online marketplaces like Etsy? Could those work for jams and chutneys?
Definitely. Etsy is perfect for, handmade artisan goods, and food is becoming really popular there. It's a great way to tap into a whole new audience.
Wow, so I could be like selling my jams to people all over the country, maybe even internationally. This is getting exciting. I'm getting a little overwhelmed though, to be honest. Where do I even start? It's a lot to take in.
One step at a time. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one or two social media platforms. Get the hang of that. Then, as you grow, you can explore other things like a website, online marketplaces, even paid advertising if you want to get fancy.
Okay, that's good to know. It's about building a foundation, then expanding.
Hmm.
What about collaborating with other businesses? I've heard of jam makers partnering with like local cafes and bakeries. Is that a good strategy?
For sure. It's a win-win. Imagine you approach a local bakery, offer to create a special edition pastry featuring, like, your seasonal jam.
Oh yeah, or partner with a coffee shop,
Yeah,
offer a discount on a jar of jam when you buy their signature scones.
exactly. Think outside the jar. Find creative ways to get your product out there. And then as you grow, maybe you even expand beyond just the market stall.
Oh, tell me more about that. How do you scale this up beyond the local market?
There are a few paths you can take. You could start selling wholesale to shops, restaurants, specialty stores, launch a full-fledged online store, ship nationwide, even internationally.
Wow, my jam's on supermarket shelves.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. What about offering jam making workshops? Would that be a good way to like grow the business?
That's a fantastic idea. Share your knowledge, your passion. It's a great way to connect with people, build your brand, and, make some extra money.
I love that. Teaching people the art of jam making,
Mm.
sharing my love for creating these delicious treats. It would be so rewarding. It's amazing how like you can start small with this, right?
Yeah,
Maybe just a few hours a week at a market, but then it can grow into something so much bigger.
that's the beauty of it. It fits your life, your goals, whether you want to be, in stores across the country or just share your stuff with your local community. It's all possible.
And you don't even need like a fancy culinary degree or anything.
Yep.
There are so many resources out there, recipes online, YouTube tutorials. There are even like whole communities of jam and chutney makers on social media.
Oh, yeah. Tons of support out there. People are so willing to share their tips and tricks. It's a really great community to be a part of.
So we've covered a lot: ingredients, recipes, a whole market scene, branding. What would you say is like the most important takeaway for our listeners? What should they really remember?
I think it's that success in this business.
Yeah.
It's not just about the product. It's about the passion,
What-
the story you bring to it.
Yeah,
People can tell when something's made with love. That's what makes it special.
totally. It's like you're putting a little bit of yourself into every jar,
Exactly.
every label, every interaction you have with a customer.
And it's about remembering, this whole thing, making jam. It can be so much more than just a hobby.
Right.
It can be a creative outlet, a way to make a living, connect with people, build something really special, maybe even leave a little legacy behind.
I love that. Okay, before we wrap up our deep dive here, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about, something to, get those creative juices flowing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
What if I asked, what unique flavor combination could you create? Something that's totally you, that would stand out in a sea of strawberry jam.
That's such a good question. Okay, I'm thinking. Spicy pineapple chutney with a hint of ginger.
Hmm.
Oh.
Mm.
Fig and balsamic jam with a little black pepper. Or maybe lavender blackberry with a touch of lemon zest. Oh, the possibilities are, like, truly endless.
So to everyone listening, go explore those possibilities, get creative, experiment, and don't be afraid to push those boundaries a little.
The world needs to taste what you come up with.
It does.
That's it for this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this flavorful exploration of the jam and chutney business. Until next time, happy jamming, everyone.